Yo, what's up guys, it's King Sean here, and in today's video, I will be bringing you guys my Week 2 game preview between the Commanders and the Packers. Thursday Night Football, the first game of Week 2 of the 2025 NFL season. Super excited for this game. Two of the top teams in the NFC, and this could potentially be a NFC Championship preview, right? But we shall see. It's really early to be talking about that, so, we'll see, but I'll give you guys my keys to victory and my score prediction at the end of the video. But before we do, make sure y'all leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up, and turn on notifications. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. Alright, so let's start off with the injury report, starting off with ours, and we have two guys that are questionable, Tress Way and Deatrich Wise. DQ talked about Tress Way in his press conference today. He said that he kicked the ball today and yesterday in practice, and he's trending in the right direction. They have him listed as questionable, and they brought in punter Mitch Wishnowsky, former Niners punter. Go figure, right? Of course, AP brings in a former Niners to have as punter insurance on the practice squad. But Tress Way, I expect him to be fine. By the way DQ sounded, he expects him to be fine for tomorrow's night's game against the Packers. And then Deatrich Wise, limited participant today, full participant the last 2 days. I expect him to be fine and play tomorrow night as well, so I'm not worried about him at all. And then everybody else is good to go. As for the Packers, they have a lot of guys on here, but half of these guys are playing. The other half are either out or questionable. Bo Melton and Brent Cox Jr., they've been ruled out, did not practice all week. Micah Parsons, he's listed as questionable, but he was limited all week. He's going to be fine. He's obviously going to play. Two guys to pay attention to, and I've told you guys to pay attention to these two guys all week long. Zach Tom, starting right tackle for the Packers, and Aaron Banks, starting guard for the Packers. Both those guys did not practice at all this week. Now, they are still listed as questionable. However, if they ain't practiced all week, and I think there was only like one practice for the Packers, one real practice, since one day they didn't practice, one day was a walkthrough, and then today was an actual practice. But if they wouldn't have practiced / did not practice all week, then I'm not really sure if they will play in Thursday night's game against us, right? And if they don't, that would be a huge loss for the Packers' own line, man. So we'll see if they play, but right now it's looking like they will not. All right, so key to victory number one, starting on the offensive side of the ball. Key to victory number one for the offense is start fast and avoid mistakes. So start fast, we got to do that, especially against a team like the Packers, who are very, very good, coming off of an impressive victory over their division rivals in the Detroit Lions. Very good victory for them. But we got to start fast, right? We did not start the fastest versus the Giants. I mean, we scored on our second drive, but on our first drive, did not score. Ertz had a drop, right, which could have kept the drive going. But, we got to start fast, and we have to avoid making mistakes, right? We cannot have 12 penalties for like 70-some odd yards again, right? We cannot do that. And that's offense and defense, but a lot of our penalties came on the offensive side of the ball, right? Holdings, false starts, right? We cannot have that in this game. So we have to avoid making those types of mistakes. We can't have any drop passes. We can't have any coaching mistakes, right? We can't have, we had in at the end of the first half versus the Giants, right? We can't have that. So we have to not be sloppy. Hopefully we cleaned up our mistakes, because we cannot have them again if we want to win tomorrow night against the Packers at Green Bay. Key to victory number two for the offense: protect Jaden and slow down Micah Parsons. Now, I don't know how much Micah Parsons is going to play. I expect him to play limited snaps again. He played less than 50% of the Packers' defensive snaps, so, still don't expect him to play a whole lot of snaps, but enough to make an impact on the game. And like Jaden said in his press conference, don't let game wreckers wreck the game. I know that they'll have Micah Parsons on the right side of the field a lot, up against Josh Conerly Jr., the rookie right tackle. I know we're going to have a lot of chill help for Conerly. Probably Bates will be on that side a whole lot. So we got to slow down Micah Parsons. The rest of their D-line as well, they got Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, Colby Woodson, who was actually a pretty good D tackle. They like to blitz Edgerrin Cooper a lot, so we have to slow down their pass rush, and we have to give Jaden time to do what he does best, and that is to dice up the secondary. And the key to victory number 3 for the offense: attack the Packers secondary. I'm not really afraid of the Packers secondary. I think they have solid safeties. I like Xavier McKinney and Javon Bullard. I like that safety tandem a good bit. But the cornerbacks, Nate Hobbs, Javon Bullard, I think he's starting nickelback. So they might have Evan Williams as their starting strong safety alongside McKinney at free safety, right? But Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, Javon Bullard, I don't think they match up well against Terry, Noah Brown, and Deebo Samuel. We can even throw in Jalen Lane if you want to, right? So I think our receivers have the advantage against them, and I feel like we have to attack the secondary. Now, Xavier McKinney, got to watch out for him. He's really good. He was a turnover machine last year. Caught 8 interceptions for the Packers, right? So we got to watch out for him. But the rest of the secondary, I feel like Terry could go off, Deebo could go off, and Noah Brown could have a pretty solid game as well. And even Zach Ertz. So that is key to victory number 3 to me. We have to attack their secondary. Moving on to the defense. Key to victory number 1 for the defense: stop Josh Jacobs and the Packers rushing attack. Stopping the run is the most important thing in my opinion. We were able to do it Sunday versus the Giants, obviously super well. I mean, Javon Kinlaw, Daron Payne, Deidre Wise, they were getting active up front. All those guys on D-line were getting active, and we held the Giants to, I think, under 80 yards of rushing, like 77 or 74, somewhere between that range. We got to be able to do it again. Josh Jacobs, he honestly wasn't that great against the Lions on Sunday. 19 carries for 66 rushing yards and a touchdown. That is, let me see, I think that might be 3.6 yards a carry, which is not that good. 3.4 yards a carry. So we can stop the run game. I believe we can, and especially if Zach Tom and Aaron Banks, 2 of the Packers starting O-linemen, are out, I believe we can stop the run against the Packers. And if we do, that's going to force Jordan Love to have to meet us with his arm. And he can definitely do that, but taking out Josh Jacobs in the run game would definitely be huge for us in winning this game. Key to victory number 2 for the defense: get pressure on Jordan Love. Versus the Giants on Sunday, we were getting pressure on Russell Wilson all game long. Had a 42% pressure rate, which is unbelievable. Was getting to him almost half of the time, which is absolutely insane, man. I mean, we were getting active. Daron Payne, Dorrance Armstrong, Javon Kinlaw, all the guys on the D-line were getting active, man. And I believe we can get active again. Now, the Packers O-line is better, I would say, but again, they're going to be out, probably going to be out. They have not been ruled out officially, but it's not looking good for Zach Tom and Aaron Banks, man. And if those 2 guys are out, I believe we can take advantage of that weakened Packers O-line, and we can really get active up front, control the line of scrimmage, and dominate that O-line, get to Jordan Love, and getting to Jordan Love could lead to some mistakes, which could ultimately lead to some turnovers, which I'll talk about in a second. But again, getting pressure on Jordan Love in this game is going to be really important to winning this game. And the key to victory number 3, ball is life, force at least 1 turnover, and lock down the Packers receivers. We were close to forcing a turnover versus the Giants. We forced a forced fumble on Russ, but could not recover. Russ was right there to recover, and Quan Martin caught an interception, but it got called back because of a Bobby Wagner roughing the passer. So we're getting close. And honestly, if we get pressure on Jordan Love, like I said, he's prone to making mistakes, and he could chuck one up, and we could pick it off, right? So, we could force a turnover this week, but we shall see. And then lock down the Packers receivers. I believe we can man up against the Packers receivers. We did it against the Giants. I think Trey Amos, Lattimore, and Mikey Sanderson are going to be capable of locking down their receivers. They don't have a Malik Neighbors. They have a bunch of 2s and 3s, and guys like Matthew Golden, Jane Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks, right? And I think that our cornerbacks and our secondary as a whole will be able to lock down their receivers. All right, so as for my score prediction for this game, I have the Commanders winning this one 27-23. This is going to be a really close game. A lot of national media pundits have had the Packers winning this game. And right now, the Packers are the media darlings, right? They beat the Lions, who are a very good team. Obviously, they lost both their coordinators, so we really don't know what they are right now, but they still have a lot of talent, and the Packers pretty much shut them down. They traded for Micah Parsons, so they're the media darlings right now, right? Like, they are the team everyone wants to talk about right now, which is why, a lot of people have them beating us. However, we got 5, and we're a tough team as well. And I feel like in this game, it's going to be a close game, but I think we'll be able to neutralize Josh Jacobs, get pressure on Jordan Love, and overall have a good day defensively to give our offense enough opportunities to score. And I believe we'll ultimately end up winning this game 27-23. I think Jaden will have a good game. I think Terry will score a touchdown tomorrow night. And I just think that we're going to pull away with the victory in tomorrow night's game. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're not already subbed up to the channel, and turn on notifications. Comment down below your keys to victory and score prediction for tomorrow night's game. What do we need to do to beat the Packers tomorrow night and start off 2-0? Man, starting off 2-0 will be so good and will benefit us a whole lot in the NFC race. Obviously, it's only week 2, but hey, man, might have some implications later on in the year, but we'll see when we get there. And again, that's it for today's video. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.